Almost impossible to choose just one. Welcome back everyone, hope you're having a good week. If you want to check out some of my other stuff that you might have missed recently, head over to the channel and you can get caught up on those videos. And if you're new, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave if you enjoyed this video. One of my more recent videos was kind of a reminiscing type of video where I was talking about some of my favorite moments from the Snyderverse. I want to make another video kind of similar to that, but this one is going to be more based off of a poll that I ran and only specifically centered on Henry Cavill's Superman. I've been trying to do more polls recently just to have more things to incorporate into my videos, allow viewers and people that follow me on social media to interact more with content and be able to share that on the channel and have more variety of things to discuss as well. So the Man of Steel anniversary is approaching pretty soon, which is it's crazy to think that it's going to be, like 11 years since the movie has come out. I think it has aged like fine wine, always super enjoyable, always epic, beautiful. I appreciate that movie so much. I think it's still my favorite movie out of Zack's DC Snyderverse movies.
It's perfection.
I would not change a thing about that movie. This poll is centered on Henry Cavill Superman, specifically favorite Henry Cavill Superman moment, which I don't think it's almost impossible to choose just one. There's so many amazing things to appreciate about what Zack did with Henry Cavill's Superman in the Snyderverse. But I did narrow it down to 4 because I couldn't put more options than that on the polls. So I narrowed it down to 4. First Flight for Man of Steel, Zod Battle in Man of Steel, Batman fight in BVS, Resurrection fight in Zack Snyder's Justice League, specifically the one against the League. Those were the same options for both Twitter and YouTube poll. And same as with the previous couple of polls, the numbers for, even if the polls don't get the same number of votes, the percentages for each answer or each option are almost exactly like they're so close on the Twitter and the YouTube polls, and it's pretty crazy how that has been working out. In this case, Twitter poll got 141 votes, and at this time the YouTube poll has 134, so only a few votes difference there, but pretty much almost exactly the same percentage for each option. First Flight Man of Steel got 61% of the vote on YouTube and 52.5% on Twitter. Zod Battle and Resurrection Justice League fight were pretty close, but the Zod Battle got a little bit more with 19.9% on Twitter and 16% on YouTube. So pretty close. Then the Resurrection fight for Zack Snyder's Justice League was at 13% for YouTube and 18.4% on Twitter. So the Zod Battle and the Resurrection fight were closer on the Twitter results. Then the last one came in, the Batman fight from BVS, 10% on YouTube and 9.2% on Twitter. So again, very close to the same results. Like a lot of people mentioned in the comments, it's pretty impossible to just pick one, or it might be something that's not listed here. Like I said, there's so many to appreciate, but I can only put a certain number. I think out of these options, my first one I think would be First Flight. I think it's really hard to put something else above that moment from these options, and probably just in general. But definitely I think First Flight would be my first one, followed by probably the Resurrection fight against, that is, no wonder those two were so close. It's really hard. I think the Zod Battle and the Resurrection fight against the League are like on the same level for me. And then the Batman fight is epic too. Like, it's really hard to rank them because they're all so great in their own way. Another one of my favorite moments, which I also mentioned in my Snyderverse favorite moments video, is the World Engine scene. That's another one of my favorites that I wanted to include that one in this poll, but I could only put 4 options on the Twitter one, and I wanted to have a couple of options from some of the different movies. I didn't want to have too many options from one movie. The World Engine scene, I mean, it's so beautiful. It's right up there with First Flight for me as well. It's epic and beautiful, and I just love everything about that one. So that's another one I would include in there if I could have. Some of the other ones people mentioned, It's Not an S, referring to the scene with him and Lois. You Can Save All of Them, the commentary between Jor-El and Kal-El before he leaves the ship to go save Lois. Superman Looking Up at the World Engine, again, another one of my favorites for sure. Welcome to the Planet, End of Man of Steel, Flight 2.0 from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Definitely would put that one in there as well, a favorite moment. And Not Impressed, his entrance to fight Steppenwolf, which is another one of my favorites that I included on my Snyderverse video too. Shirt Rip, end of Zack Snyder's Justice League. and Black Adam post-credit scene. So those were some from Romello Malone. Thank you for your comment on that from Twitter. Also, Superman's death scene in BVS was another comment. I think that's an interesting one, but it's up there because it's not that it's heartbreaking, right? It gets me every time, which is what I replied to at Jacob Ray 714. It's sad and it's heart-wrenching, but it gets you every time, and it's like, yeah, that's ugh, gets me every time. Smallville battle was another one that people mentioned. I think that's also a great one. T-Berg mentioned that one on Twitter. I think it's probably impossible to list all of them in one video, but those are just some of the ones I wanted to highlight. So thank you to you guys who voted. Continue to participate in these if you see them pop up on my Twitter, if you follow me, or on YouTube. Vote on both if you want. Feel free to leave comments with other suggestions for things that are not available as an option to vote for, and just leave your thoughts in general. But I wanted to share those. I'll continue to run these on Twitter and YouTube, like I said, to have more discussion, add you guys into the mix more. If you have any cool ideas for, poll questions or anything like that, drop them in the comments. If you follow Bo DeMaio on Twitter, he is the executive producer, creator, head writer of X-Men 97. He had a big thread about stuff that he was tweeting about Man of Steel while he was watching it, different scenes. And if you've seen the series, you know that there was obviously a lot of inspiration, specific scenes and elements that were very reminiscent of Man of Steel. And so he was tweeting a lot about that and so many things that he appreciates about it. And I thought that was pretty cool. So I just wanted to add that into this video since it was relevant to the topic. If you don't follow him, I retweeted some of his stuff. I thought it was really awesome for him to share his appreciation for Man of Steel and what Zach did with the character and how that got incorporated into some of the things for X-Men 97, how that was inspirational for it. So that was also really cool. But again, thank you guys for watching. Check out the links in the description, including the link to my Hive Marketplace storefront and anything you might have missed on the channel, including the short section. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.